Let me tell y'all something, man. If you got 15 years of your life left, let's say you wanted to get to somewhere in life, you ask yourself, I only got $1,500, and it's the year 2007. I crashed into a car that belonged to the air. But then I climbed a cell phone tower that was 4,628 feet above ground level. And it took me about 27 hours to climb up and climb down. And I had to be able to bench press 250 pounds for 6 months. And I had to bench press 260 pounds. And I had to do 500 pull-ups a day for 6 months. And I had to do 475 push-ups every 2 hours a day for 6 months in order to climb up a cell phone tower that's 4,928 feet above the ground. Now, I did that 6 times in the year 2007. And in the year 2020, they gave me $247,900 for risking my whole life. And all I have left as of today is $37,000. But this is the twist to it. If I go to foreign exchange and I give foreign exchange a Kuwait dinar that has a misprint, and nobody in the United States can prove that a Kuwait dinar has a misprint, and that the Kuwait dinar was misprinted and created on January 14th in the year 1967. And it was in circulation from 1984 to the year 2002. And in January of 2002, the dollar bill was found in a house, and it was the only Kuwait dinar that's more valuable than US dollars. It's the number one valuable currency. It's the most valuable currency in the world. It was one of the Kuwait dinars, and the only Kuwait dinar that had a misprint, that was inside of a house in Virginia, that the owner of that house was funding a terror group, a neo-Nazi group, and including Al-Qaeda. And one of the men that circulated that same dollar bill was Osama bin Laden himself. And let's say that a teenager from Cardozo High School in 2004 was collecting money, Indian rupees, and coins from other countries without telling anyone in the school. And let's say, for example, that when Saddam Hussein was terrorizing the Washington, D.C., United States, and certain parts in Africa, the fight over the oil with President Bush and Saddam Hussein, and the war on terror, and how Afghanistan and Osama bin Laden had funding to crash into the World Trade Center. Now, I'm no baller, but I don't understand why guys flash $10,000, $15,000 and $20 bills when I can flash one piece of currency that in the year 2039, that currency that has a misprint, and it's a Kuwait dinar with a misprint. It will, in the year 2040, it would be worth $956,000 because Kuwait dinar is more valuable than US dollars. Number one. Number two, it has a misprint. Number three, it has a security seal on it because only Osama bin Laden. The Kuwait dinar is strong. And when you're a 17-year-old boy in the year 2001, 2002, and Osama bin Laden crashes into the World Trade Center, and then in 2011, 2012, they kill him. But then 2 years after Osama bin Laden got killed, you get hit by a car by somebody who didn't have insurance and stole a vehicle. And you have a Class A driving training. You're a CDO Class A driver, but someone hit you with a car. And now you cannot drive truck anymore. But let me ask you a question. How many truck drivers in the United States decided to sneak over to the Middle East and into Africa, certain parts of Africa and Saudi Arabia, before the year 2007? Before it's too difficult for United States citizens to go over there unnoticed. And let's say the Central Bank of Kuwait, I would have to travel to Kuwait to prove that a misprint on a Kuwait dinar after 20 years is worth $72 million because it's an artifact of archaeology. And it's used for educational purposes, but because of the misprint and because of the rarity of the bill, nobody in the United States can determine a misprint because it's not United States currency. And how much does a 1940 or 1960 misprint $100 bill would go out on the auction compared to a dollar bill that's equal or the same age, but it's a Kuwait dinar worth more than 100 US dollars, whether it's a misprint or it has a star note? And why star notes are more valuable than regular Federal Reserve notes? And why every star note with a repeating number has that value? The older the star note and the older the repeating star note, the more money it's worth than its face value. So what if I have currency that's worth more than US dollars? It's older than 1980 because the year varies. When it says the year varies, it means that the year cannot be determined. So it has to be taken as face value. So it's a 1968 misprint Kuwait dinar that's worth more than US dollars itself. So I don't know if 7 million US dollars is enough for a 45-year-old man to wait until he's 67 years old to enjoy $70 to $7 million. I mean, if you're a currency collector and you wasted your teenage and 20s and 30s and you did not collect and find the currency that your high school educational books told you, if you want money, if you were about money before you graduated high school, if you wanted to be this big time guy with a lot of money when you in your 20s and 30s, you have to fulfill the plan. If the book tells you that Kuwait dinar is worth more than US $3.84 and a dollar is only $1 in the United States, but a Kuwait dollar is worth more than $1 here in the United States. Why am I not going to be a teenager and find somebody who knows about international currency, or find a foreign exchange bank and kind of like make a plan to find a foreign exchange bank and get connected with people who, and befriend someone who used to work for a foreign exchange bank when you were a teenager, and then when you go to California to go to college, that person will trust you as a teenager and a strong-minded kid to actually take classes, because that person is a freshman in college at a foreign exchange bank, but she decided to go to college in California to help you find that type of currency, because she's older than you, but she's trying to find it too. And she said, I don't mind dating a guy in high school who has the same idea I have. So when that happens, what do you think I'm going to do when I find it and that person knows it? What if a female was like, I found it and I found yours too, even though you're going through things in life? You miss me? And then you really think you guys should comment on this, and please tell me if I should respond to a person who legitimately found me and gave me something we promised when we separated our ways. We weren't able to pick up where we left off at. But that person still was like, I found the Kuwait dinar you're looking for. And I'm 40 years old. And that person found it for me. And found hers too. But the problem is, I don't know how much a misprint, because she didn't know, and she's not paying it. She just wanted the Kuwait dinar. But she didn't realize that the bills that she gave me were misprinted. And I know that misprint currency is worth more than properly made currency. Comment and share, please. I appreciate that. Move back to these messages.